A verdict has been issued in the high courtroom of heaven over the battle you are most tired of fighting. Not the opinion of the people who walked away, not the sentence the enemy keeps whispering against you in the dark, not the case your own fear reopens every time the night goes quiet. A ruling, final, signed, sealed, and I am reading it over your life right now before you reach the end of these words. I know you have stood in that courtroom alone for a long time. You have heard the charges read aloud, every failure named, every old wound dragged forward as evidence, every voice that ever told you that you were too much or not enough. You have felt the weight of being accused day and night in the quiet, where no one could see how heavy it had become. And somewhere along the way, you began to believe the silence meant the case was going badly. It was not. The silence you mistook for abandonment was the silence of a court that had already decided. You have fought currents that seemed stronger than you. There were moments you wanted to let go of everything and simply stop. I was not absent in those moments. I never left. I never took my eyes off you. I never stopped believing in what you can become with your hand in mine. The exhaustion you carried was real, but it was not the exhaustion of someone losing. You will understand that better before this is over. Think of how many seasons you have stood your ground while the case felt like it was slipping. You did not collapse. You did not walk away from the truth you had believed. You kept showing up when showing up paid you nothing. Others would have folded under far less. The enemy watched you stay, and your staying unsettled him, because a person who keeps standing is a person who has not accepted the verdict he keeps trying to read. That endurance was never wasted. It was evidence, your own evidence, that something in you already knew the ruling had gone the other way. Before I take you deeper into this, let yourself land here with me. Take a breath, breathe out slowly, and make the breath leaving you longer than the breath you drew in. Let the old air go all the way out, the way a courtroom empties after the verdict has already been given. There is nothing left for you to argue in here. There is nothing left for you to prove. The breath going out of you now is the breath of someone who can finally stop defending a case that was won before you ever walked in. Do it once more if you need to. Longer out than in. Let your shoulders come down with it. Feel that. Feel the difference in your own body when you stop bracing. Hear this. It is the center of everything I am saying to you. The accuser has been thrown down. The voice that stood against you day and night. It has no standing in this court. It cannot bring a charge that holds. It cannot enter evidence I have not already covered. Every tongue that has risen against you in judgment, every word fashioned to convince you that you were guilty, unloved, finished, I overturn it. Not someday. It is overturned. The one who accuses you has lost the right to speak here, and I am the judge. This is the truth your fear has not let you hear. I am not a distant judge weighing whether to be on your side. I have already taken the bench. I have already taken your defense. I am the one who justifies you. So who is left to condemn you? The enemy can still make noise outside the courtroom. He can still rattle the doors. But noise is not a ruling. Threats are not a sentence. He is loud precisely because he is no longer in charge. And somewhere in you, you have started to confuse his volume with his authority. They were never the same thing. You have been fighting as though the outcome were still undecided, as though every hard day were another round of evidence that could tip the case against you. I want you to see what that has cost you. The exhaustion of defending ground that was already deeded to you. The sleepless hours spent rehearsing a trial that already has a verdict. The battle that looks impossible to you was settled in the heavenly places before it ever reached the ground where you stand. The victory was declared over your life before this whole season of struggle even began. You are not fighting toward a verdict. You are living underneath one. So let me reframe the very thing that has been breaking you. That long, drawn-out fight you keep losing heart over. It is not proof that you are failing. It is the echo of a war whose ruling has already come down. An enemy who held real, lasting power over you would not need to work this hard to convince you that he does. The accusation only has to be repeated daily, because it is not true. It cannot stand on its own weight. The exhaustion you feel is not the exhaustion of someone going under. It is the exhaustion of someone who keeps standing back up to fight a battle the judge already closed. And I am calling you out of that courtroom now. I am not asking you to win it. I am telling you it is over. This is the strength I am placing in you. And I want you to understand where it comes from. It is not a strength born of your willpower. It is not the product of your human effort, squeezed out of a tank that keeps running dry. It is my supernatural power. It comes down over you like rain over ground that has been dry too long, like fire kindling what had gone cold, like wind moving through what looked finished. Receive it now. Open the doors of your life to a strength that turns your weakness into firmness, your fear into courage, your defeat into a victory you will one day tell as a testimony. The story you recount with tears of joy and a heart full of gratitude. I know you have knocked on doors with tired hands and heard nothing behind them. Doors that stayed shut for years. Hear me clearly. I hold the key to every one of them. I know the exact moment each will open, and when I open a door, no man, no enemy, no circumstance can shut it again. What I open stays open. What I rule over your life is fulfilled without fail and without delay. The closed doors were never a final answer. They were a held breath, waiting for the right hour. So do not throw away what you have already gained. Do not abandon the dreams I planted in you. Do not surrender 1 inch of the ground the verdict has handed you. Here is what I am asking of you. Not more striving, not a better defense. I am asking you to lift your head, tilt your face slightly upward toward where the ceiling meets the air above you, and hold it there for a moment. Feel how your whole posture changes when your head is no longer bowed under accusation. This is not a small thing. The enemy needs your head down to keep reading you charges. Lifted, you can hear the verdict instead. Lifted, you can see that the doors of this courtroom open outward toward a life I have already prepared. Walk through your days like that, head up, steady, each step taken with the certainty that your God is leading you by the hand. There are people who will look at you and notice something different. A light in your eyes, a calm in the way you speak, a firmness in how you walk. That is my grace resting on you. That is my presence. And no one can strip it off the one I have ruled in favor of. And carry it the right way. I am setting you in a place of blessing and of weight you have not stood in before. But do not let it lift your head with pride. Carry it the way a true son or daughter of the King carries an inheritance. With faith, with authority, yes, but also with humility and gentleness. Many are called. Few decide to walk it out the whole way. You are one of the chosen, not because you earned a higher place, but because you took these promises seriously and did not treat my word as a small thing. Hold that honor with a low and grateful heart, and it will never become a burden to you. The case is closed. The verdict is love. So do not spend your strength on people who have no peace to give you. The one who lives in bitterness wants to pull you down into the same sickness. They smile when they look at you and rehearse your failures the moment you turn away. Do not hand them the gavel. They are not the court. Their words are not a ruling over you, no matter how confidently they speak them. Guard your heart. Turn your mind away from the conversations that quietly drain your courage. Pour your energy into what you can actually build. The ruling that stands over you did not come from them. It cannot be appealed by them. If these words are landing somewhere real in you, leave the word overturned in the comments. Not for me, for your own heart. As a mark that you heard the ruling, as a sign that you are choosing to walk out of the courtroom of accusation and not back into it again. This verdict does more than close a case. It opens a season, A time of blessing and provision is being created for you to live in and enjoy, and to be made ready for the victories still coming. A blessing is moving toward you that is large enough to crush the sorrow you have carried. Not patch it, not soften it. Crush it underneath something greater. I'm transforming the way you think. You will no longer look at your own life through the eyes of pessimism and defeat, scanning the horizon for the next thing to go wrong. My promises will rise in your mind instead. Each morning this word will lift you up before the day can press you down. Hear this too. You are already deeply blessed, far more than you have stopped to count. You are alive. You are hearing my voice. You feel something warm and true rise in you when these words reach your heart. That is not nothing. That is the evidence that you belong to me. And the heritage of those who belong to me is exactly this. No weapon formed against them prospers. Every accusing tongue is silenced in judgment. That inheritance is not earned in a courtroom by your performance. It is granted by the verdict of the judge who already decided, long before you understood it, to be for you. I know there are days when you hear words of love in the morning, and then something goes wrong by afternoon, and the blessing you were waiting for does not seem to arrive. People turn their backs. You lose something you loved. Your day ends, and your soul is tired and disappointed. The doubt leans in close and tells you I was not listening at all, but I heard you when your thoughts were screaming. I heard them cry out, asking where I was. I saw the tears you let fall in silence, the ones you would not let anyone witness, because you did not want the world to see how you suffered, and you could not let anyone know you were afraid. Those tears are not evidence against you. They are precious to me. I am keeping them. And one day I will show them to you turned into something of immense worth. Treasure you did not know you were storing up while you wept. So let those emotions out. Do not keep holding them trapped inside. Let them come, the way a turbulent river finally breaks loose and carries the wreckage of your torment downstream with it. Let them rise like springs and reach all the way to me. I receive them here. I make them holy. There is a solution for your suffering. There is an answer for your pain. There is a reward for your endurance. There is a holy blessing reserved for your perseverance. For every time you stayed standing when staying cost you something. I know about the harm done to you when you were young. I know what was taken before you were old enough to defend it. That wound still aches. I am not going to pretend it does not. But hear me with care, because this is part of the ruling too. The wound is not eternal. The pain is not a life sentence. You have the courage to lay it down here, in my hands, and to let the long record of it close. From this point forward, you can live in forgiveness, not because what happened was small, but because you were never meant to keep paying the interest on someone else's debt. Let it go all the way to me. Let your mind stop returning to those days to relive them. You are free. If anyone sees you lighter, do not be ashamed of it. Let the ones who hurt you see that your heart no longer lives in agony, and that the chains they thought they fastened were never the final word over you. And know who stands around you now. I do not leave the one I have ruled for unguarded. There is an army of my angels around you, sent to keep you so your foot does not strike the stone. You will walk through your days and not be ruled by fear of danger or calamity, because the one who issued the verdict also issued the protection that carries it. You are not exposed. You are not unwatched. You are surrounded. The enemy will keep using the same weapon, day after day. The accusation that I do not love you. It is the only real charge he has left, and it is false. When he brings it, you will answer that there is no doubt in your heart, because you know who you are now. You have heard the ruling with your own ears. You are not standing trial. You are standing under a verdict of love that has already been signed and cannot be revoked. I want you to feel these words settle into you, to remember them the next time your mind tries to reopen the case. I am writing all of this on your heart. in a place no accuser can reach and no circumstance can erase. When the old charges come back, and they will try, you will not have to win the argument. You will only have to remember that the argument is already over. The judge has spoken. The accuser is down. The weapon does not prosper. The tongue is refuted. That is the heritage I am handing you, and it holds whether you feel strong that day or not. You do not have to carry the way out of this. You never did. I go before you, the way a ruling goes ahead of a person walking free, clearing the obstacles, confounding the enemy, preparing the victory before you ever reach the field of battle. I am your shield and your defense. The obstacles that look so fixed and so impossible to move do not know my power. One word from me scatters them like dust on the wind. One breath of my spirit disperses them. So do not look at them with the eyes of defeat. Do not measure them with a tired heart. Look at them with the eyes of someone who has read the verdict and already knows how this ends. And bring me your request. Do not keep it folded up inside you, half spoken, half believed. Write it down with faith. Tell me plainly what you are asking for, with conviction, the way a person speaks who knows the judge is listening and the judge is for them. I am not going to ignore your pleading. For every prayer you bring, I have an answer prepared. For your pain, I keep a holy remedy. For your despair, I keep comfort. Ask me for wisdom and I will give it. I understand your need better than you understand it yourself. Everything I do in your life, what I place, what I pull up, what I take away, all of it is for your good. I never make a mistake. I know what I'm doing. Nothing in your story is without purpose, even the parts you have not been able to read yet. I have watched you stay on your feet through nights that would have folded almost anyone. I have heard the crying that broke the silence of the rooms where you thought no one was listening. You have stood and stood and stood, and I admire that endurance more than you know. But hear me gently now. It is time to rest in me. You were never meant to be both the one fighting and the one carrying the whole weight of the outcome. Give me your burdens. Give me your frustrations, your doubts, your sicknesses, your disappointments. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to give you my shoulder to lean on, my ear to hear you, and my heart to love you. You are not alone in this. Together the obstacles come down. Know this also. I'm not speaking to you of empty luxuries or false riches. The blessing I am bringing is holy, and it lasts. I want your health, in body and in mind. I want your spirit to grow. I want your heart cleared of every bitter thing that has been allowed to live there too long. I want to give you dreams that build you up, longings that reach beyond what you could reach on your own. My desire is to strengthen you so completely that you overcome the habits and weaknesses that have held you and set out on a new journey. Across the ocean of difficulty you have been facing, until you arrive, with your faith and your courage intact, at a harbor that is safe. You have been told before that you do not matter, that nothing you set your hand to will last. People said it to wound you, and some of it lodged deep and stayed. But hear what your Father is saying now with your own ears. I know the gifts I placed in you. I know the abilities I built into you, some of which you have not even uncovered yet. The enemy exaggerates your stumbles. He magnifies your failures. He throws your past in your face as though the past were the verdict. It is not. I judged your case and I judged it in your favor. Stay firm in what you have believed. Do not yield 1 centimeter of the ground I gave you. And if you fall, if something contrary to your own will trips you and you go down again, hear this before the accuser can reach you. I'm still here. I'm here to comfort you and to offer you forgiveness, not to read you a new sentence. I know you fight with sincerity. I know you take your calling seriously. You do not play with my word. You do not treat my ways lightly. Errors may still come, but do not faint when they do. Even if you fall, I will go on loving you for all eternity. The verdict does not flicker because you stumbled. It was never built on your performance. It was built on my choice. There is something to do with the freedom this verdict gives you. Do not only keep it, sow it. I am placing seeds of love in your hands and words of healing, and you are meant to scatter them in the lives of others. The same accusation the enemy reads over you, he reads over the people near you, and many of them have never once heard a ruling go the other way. You have heard it now. So become a person who carries the verdict into other rooms. Be kind. Be considerate with every person you meet from here forward. You will meet good people, sincere people, and you will receive help from places you did not expect. Keep your eyes open and your senses awake, so that when the door opens, you are not distracted by things that have no value. Give your mornings to me. Before the noise of the day can crowd in, before the news and the notifications can lay their own charges over your mind, come and meet with me. Bend your knees beside your bed and pray with all the faith you have. Do not silence my call with the pillow. Do not give the loud and empty things first place. The ones who walk in defeat are not weaker than you. They simply gave their attention to the wrong voices and let the accusation become the only thing they could hear. You will not end up that way. You belong to a different ruling. There is a sound in the heavens that not everyone can hear, a trumpet, marking that the promised times are drawing near. Most will miss it because they have trained their ears on complaint and on the voices that only know how to name defeat. But you have been listening to a different word, and your ear has been tuned by it. When you decide to march forward in faith, heaven is not silent about it. There is a celebration over the way you have chosen to live, over your courage, over your refusal to quit. Your steps are noticed. Your perseverance moves me. When you bend your knees in reverence instead of demanding from me, it reaches me, and I do not forget it. This is your day. I'm announcing the arrival of your victory and your freedom, not the absence of all struggle. I will not promise you a life with no storms, because that is not the life anyone walking this earth is given, but the certainty underneath the struggle. Trouble will still come. Hold on to the ruling when it does. Stay standing. Keep walking. Do not stop until you see it with your own eyes, and you will see it. Your conflicts resolved in ways you could not have arranged. Doors opening that you could not have forced. The very thing you feared turned into the ground of your testimony. And to those who have done you injustice, who closed doors in your face, who ignored your effort and carried off what you had built, I have not forgotten. I am the one who makes things right. But I am not asking you to carry a grudge while I do it. Pray for them instead. Pray that they turn and come back. I have ruled that what was stolen from you will be restored, and you may be surprised when it returns by hands you thought were closed to you forever. Let me handle the justice. Your part is to keep your heart clean while I do. There is a battle in the unseen places over your life. The enemy wants to come against you and against your family, but for all his effort, he will not succeed. He does not have the strength to do you lasting harm, because the covering over you is not your own. It is stronger than every weapon raised against you. So guard your ways, watch over your eyes, speak words of kindness. Do not let provocation pull you out of the peace you have been given. Whatever comes, you and your family are in my hands. Answer those who provoke you gently, and my peace will reign in your home. Do not be unequally bound to those who mock my word and believe that evil will never touch them. Do not sign your name beside theirs on what they are building. Their confidence is borrowed, and it is brief. But you live by faith. Live believing with steady certainty that my blessings will reach you. They will. The ruling guarantees it. And the blessing I am bringing is not the false wealth the world chases. I am speaking of wisdom, of spiritual growth and spiritual power, of courage and strength to face your enemies and overcome them, of a clear mind and a steady hand, so that you can work and prosper in what your hands are set to, and from that abundance feed the hungry, help the one in need, and pass the verdict of grace along to someone still thirsty for it. Hold on to what I'm saying, because the storms will test whether you remember it. The day will come when you hear words of love in the morning and the afternoon tries to argue them down. When the ground under you seems to shift and the news around you turns dark and the people who do not believe rise up to attack what you have chosen. Even then, even if your own family turned its back on you, this is the truth that does not move. I love you more than all of them put together. While you hold to these words, your victory is certain. Loose your grip and let the doubts fill the space, and you will be carried off by a wind of unbelief that was never strong enough to carry the one who stays anchored. So stay anchored. This word is the anchor of your faith, and my promises are not scattered by the wind and not forgotten by time. They are fulfilled. They become real in everyone who decides, with the whole heart and without reserve, to trust me. The case is closed. The verdict is love. For I have decided to bless you. I have decided to bless your family with you, because I love you, and so it will be. No one can hold back my hand. I am still seated on the bench, watching over the one I have chosen. The accuser is down. The weapon does not prosper. The ruling stands, and my will for your life will be done. Amen. If this ruling reached something in you, let it stay. Subscribe so these words keep finding you, the way the verdict over your life keeps holding. Like this message and share it with someone still standing in the courtroom of accusation. May the peace of the one who already decided in your favor go with you and remain.